Once again, I welcome all the participants in the today's session that is about community nature. We have discussed about the basic understanding of the community for the community work, the basic understanding of the community work, how how it has developed, its all background, and then definitely I'm not talking about the historical perspective that we are going to discuss in the coming sessions. So today we have to discuss about the nature of the community community work. So what is the nature of the community work? So I just tried to draw the nature from the Peter Bedlock's statement, so that it's about first nature of the community work. It's a holistic approach in a sense that focusing on improving social, economic, environmental conditions of the community, that every aspect of the community talks about. That's why it is a holistic approach. The focus on improving social, economic, and environmental conditions is a holistic approach to enhancing community well-being. Community work in this context aims to address the various interconnected aspects like life, in recognizing the social cohesion, economic opportunities, and environmental sustainability, and deeply intervene into that. Moving ahead, next nature of this is the participatory process. Community work, as we have already discussed this earlier in the session, that participation is considered to be very important. So its nature is participatory. That community work's major core aspect of is that participation of the community members. So you are not going to impose any kind of the programs and policies, then it is not considered as a community work. To call it as a community work, the participation of the community members is utter important. So in this model, community members play a crucial role not only in identifying problem but also in generating issues and potential solutions. Their insights are valuable as they are understand their local context, and then actually the challenges which has been upcoming there in that community. So this collaborative efforts of you and then participation of the community member efforts foster a sense of ownership and accountability among community members, as they are directly involved in the development and implementation of change that impacted their lives. So it's like that the community is having some issues or some problem, or maybe they are identified or not, that's another aspect. But if you are there as a change agent, so you have to make them understand, make them realize their issues, their problem, and then you have to actually energize them to work to resolve that needs and then problem. So that way, once they got realized and sensitized towards needs and problem, they definitely come forward to participate in those issues and concern and the kind of the programs you are for whatever you are there in the community. So next nature of the community is about the empowerment, is to providing empowerment to the community. For sure, definitely. So, as its course, empowerment involves equipping people with the knowledge and tools they need to affect the change in their own circumstances and environment. So, if you see that the community is not aware about certain things, you have to make them aware. If you actually identify that certain skill is required to make them more empowered, you have to provide some kind of the skills to them, and and you also provide some certain kinds of the support system, so that they would develop a kind of confidence among them, and they develop the more skillful in maybe in the economic aspect, or maybe in some kind of the social aspect. So by equipping all these knowledge skills, so they feel that they are empowered, and they actually became empowered. I have also witnessed that how the women, being the part of the self-help groups, how they became the empowered. Once they have a money in your hand. So I'm not talking that only the economic aspect actually makes you empowered, but because you have a money in your hands, you have been respected in your family, and so that gives a social empowerment to you. So everything is so interconnected to each other. So that's why this is all about. That once you give them first to sensitize them, get realized, and then resource identification, resource mobilization you have done with those community, so the community definitely going to empowered. Next is about the social justice and reducing inequality. This is another very important nature of the community work. Social justice and reducing inequalities, so it's a major concern actually. So nature as well as concern, because social justice, what as H.Y. Siddiqui has also many times talks about that, social justice and reducing inequalities in his book. So it's about community work. It's about the fundamental principle seeks to ensure the fair treatment, including everyone, thinking about who is excluded, who is not heard. So reducing inequalities by looking into the different power structures is very important. So then you can actually be able, being able to channelize the actually kind of the developmental aspects to everyone, and became the instrumental for the development of the community. So here what community workers can do: community workers engage in advocacy to influence policy making. They work to raise awareness about pressing issues such as discrimination, poverty and human rights violation. These are the some aspects you can actually sensitize the community. Sustainability is another important nature of the community work. Whenever think about and talk about the community work, you have to develop the kinds of intervention and activities that which is more sustainable. So even giving education is a kind of the sustainability, just sustainability usually sometimes misunderstood only by of the environmental awareness. I'm sure you are, none of you are actually, but sustainability is about any kind of the development which is sustaining for the longer period of the time and for the longer, right? So environmental aspects is taken into consideration, because we are actually exploiting our environment like anything. So any kind of the economic aspect, any kind of the social aspect should not affect to the environment. That is the macro level of explanation of the sustainability. Micro level explanation of the sustainability that goes to the community level itself. So any kind of the development which is for them to make them more empowered is actually considered to be a more sustainable, right? So the foster sustainability, community initiatives must integrate environmental, social equity and economic viability. This means developing strategies that protect natural resources, promote social inclusion and ensure economic opportunity for all community members. By tackling the underlying factors contributing to these challenges, communities can build resilience and empower individuals, ensuring that benefits of their efforts endure over time. Next, a few more like active agents change. Community workers as considered to be agents of change. Challenging power structure, this is another very important nature of the community work, because that you actually challenge the power structure. Next is about community worker focuses on what? Focuses on interrelationship and support, that we have already discussed about. It's you should be focused on need fulfillment through community engagement. So two things need fulfillment has to be there, but it is not by your intervention only. Rather, it has to be channelize the whole resources that way that the community feels that they are actually fulfilling by themselves. Community engagement is important. So that way community work is not only the end. Community work is also about the means. So always keep in mind that engaging community is actually giving them more sustainable aspect of development, right? So participative communication, community engagement is again very important aspect where you have to focus on. So participative communication, community engagement, that everyone has to be getting participate into that. Community analysis, before going into the community, your analysis regarding that particular community is so important, because that's the point I have already discussed so much in detail. Then capacity building. This capacity building is what? By giving skills, knowledge, and first is to sensitize them and giving all the kind of informations and all. So the community became more kind of empowered. So they developed the kind of capacity. So capacity building, once the community became capable enough for their own sustenance, for their own development. So in absence of you are now free. You can go to another community for the same purpose. But now the community is capable enough, so they can work in the future for themselves only. So any kind of the issues and problems would arise, because you have developed already the leadership there, you have developed the networking there, so you have developed the capacity of the community. So you just imagine then pointers, right? The community problem, identified needs, then the leadership development, power structuring understanding, leadership development within the communities, and then capacity building. You just imagine the end and then means how you can actually going to change the whole community. Next is about the scope of the community work. So that is what the target groups, all kinds of the community in needs. So the scope means the boundary where the community workers actually intervene, and this particular methods of social work in having the boundary and where they can apply to. So target groups, it could be applied to any community. So that is what the very first scope. The boundary is what? All the communities, right? It could be a community of LGBTQ, it could be a community of any rural community, any urban community, any slum communities, any community within community. So what is that? The target group as a community is the very first scope area of the community work, or the you could say the interventional area of the community work. Disaster relief and emergency response. This is another very important area of intervention that's also comes considered as a scope area of the community work. Supporting services like social, mental, physical, environmental, it could be of any nature. So supporting services means community work is more than just interacting with people. It is also entails offering specialized services that cater to these groups, unique needs. For instance, the mentally ill may need medical attention or counseling. The elderly may require transportation services, and young moms may benefit from child care assistance or parenting training. So these are some of the example where you can provide as in supporting services, or if you cannot, actually you can do that, facilitate those services if you can brought to that community, if you can bring that to the community. Okay, so this is what the supporting services. As I have just was looking into this point of mental health and mentally ill issues. So see, community mental health is also very important emerging area. So later on, as an interventional area, we are going to discuss, because mental health many times is considered as a taboo, and preventive mental health is very important. You have to develop the environment in such a manner the issues of stress and depression should not come into that area. Okay, everything is so much interconnected. You are connected with the community, again connected. If you are connected with the community, if you have the people around you, you actually you can do your catharsis. Catharsis means you ventilate your feeling. So the very first step to reducing the stress and anxiety is to ventilation of feeling. So your community give you the space for the ventilation of your feeling, your family, your peers, your mohalla. So the community which is close knit, having strong social bonding, so they usually show less amount of depression and anxiety or any kind of the mental health. But this is a minor aspect. Again, there are a lot preventive mental health aspect is there, which is again very important to work on and think on. Next is about the social and economic development. So this is also important scope of the social and economic development. Is community workers help address poverty, unemployment and social inequalities through initiatives like skill building program, functional literacy training. And so this kind of the developmental aspect is also come under the boundary of or interventional area of the community worker. Enabling independence and self-management, giving people the tools that they need to take charge of their lives, organize their schedules and make independent decisions in fundamental tenet of community work. Community workers try to empower individual by giving them the knowledge and self-assurance they need to live and independently as possible, as opposed to doing everything for them. So making them enable, that I have already discussed, is also one of the important function or the scope area of the community work. Education and capacity building again is the same. So just going to the county, providing some kind of the education is also come as an important scope area of the community worker. Holistic aspect, so giving education, social or political or anything kind of the sensitization, mobilization, resource utilization. So all these aspects coming together gives you a holistic perspective. So community work is a very holistic perspective. As while we discussed about the nature of the community, we have already discussed all the holistic aspect of this. Okay, so now coming to the objectives of the community, we have discussed the nature, and then we have discussed this earlier aspect and the explanation of the community work. Now you are able to understand, you can easily identify and develop your own objective of the community work. What are the objectives of the community work, right? So according to the Gulbenkian Foundation, the major objectives which I have drawn from the what is being mentioned by H.Y. Siddiqui, that democratic engagement given by these objectives as given by the Gulbenkian Foundation. So democratic engagement, so democratic process for involving people in thinking, deciding, planning and playing an active part in the development and operation of services that affect their daily life. So very first objective is about a democratic engagement where everyone could participate, right, in thinking, deciding and planning in every step. So everyone has to participate. community belonging. Value of personal fulfillment of belonging to community is very important. For example, a neighborhood organized creates a series of community events or any kind of activities of the community, such as any kind of the festivals, sports league, and art projects aimed at bringing residents together. And this togetherness, what this events hold, foster relationship and sense of belonging among participants, strengthening communities. So by this coming together, that gives the kind of the develop the kind of build come together we feeling. So this actually resulted into the community belonging, and this is very important. This sentiment is very important for the over actually fostering the development of individual as well as to the community. Holistic community planning. So next objective of the community should be, whatever the projects and program, it should be holistically looking into, means every aspect of the community as community as a system, every subsystem is interrelated to each other. So if you're going to bring changes into the one subsystem, it is going to affect to other subsystem. Maybe if you're going for the self-help group microfinancing to the with the rural community, with the rural women, maybe because 90% in the SHGs the women's are been involved. So the women's are been involved in this SHGs microfinancing. The prime motive is the economic development, but because of the economic development, they also get social development, they also get social empowerment. So everything is so interconnected. That is what the holistic community development aspect. So this means working under constant tension between people's needs and the scarce resources. This is what needs is huge, resources are lacking, and that is what the important interventional aspect, that how you can meet these issues and then resolve these issues out of these smaller resources, right? Maybe the resources sometime hidden, you cannot identify, and people are not identify those resources. Maybe they are in abundant, but here very obviously usually the resources are lacking and the issues are many. Because I've already told you, when you go in a community, if you ask for the issues and concerns, they come with a lot package of the issues and problem. So you have to go prioritize those needs and then working with every kind of the needs. So again, depending on the kind of projects and then opportunities that you have within your hand, so accordingly you have to work. So resources is lacking and the needs are huge. So with these limited resources, you have to work. Maybe the resources is your time. You cannot spend every 7 days and 24 hours there in the community. So that's also considered to be an resources. So you have to use this less resources to maximize the outcome. Okay, so this is another very important. This is what the gist of the objective of the all communities. I've also come with some of the objectives like self-determination and empowerment. That's this democratic engagement and community building and holistic community planning actually giving birth to the self-determination and empowerment. So to empower community members to participate actively in identifying and addressing their needs, to support self-determination and autonomy with the community. So this is also very, very important objective. If you look into that, providing empowerment to the community is very important objective of community work. Equality and social justice, to address social inequalities and create more equitable conditions by advocating for the right of marginalized groups. So this is another, if you look into this from the objective perspective, from the objective angle, so this is a very important objective, that you have to bring social justice into the community and then equality into the community, right? That you can through advocacy, legal assistance and awareness campaign. Then development of local leadership and capacity building is another very important objective of community work. So to cultivate local leadership that can sustain and drive ongoing community development initiatives, ensuring long-term community resilience, right? So here you can do with the leadership development, because if you will develop the leadership from the community and within the community will actually resiliate or develop the resilience in the time of any kind of the crisis. They can come back and they can fight back. So leadership development is very important. That's way support for local initiative and then training programs. So by doing all this, you can actually develop the local leadership and capacity building within the community, right? So this highlights the importance of developing local leaders who can advocate for the community's interests and mobilize resources effectively even in the absence of you. Empowerment of social welfare is another very important objectives, because this enhance the quality of life within the community by improving access to services, resources, and opportunities for development. Because I have already told you the needs are the bigger and then larger, and then numbers in quantity and quality so much, and the resources are lacking. So for that, social welfare and then programs and policies has to be channelized for the community, facilitated for the community, mobilized for the community. And whatever the social welfare is been there, you have to look into that, what is lacking into that, maybe in content, maybe in the process. So you have to look into that, where the lacking is there, so then you can improve into that. This is again very important objective. If you look into very minutely, once you will be somewhere, hopefully in working with the community and any time in the community, that, and I wish to so that you have to look into that, what kind of the social welfare policies has been there and what is lacking here there. For example, if I take the example of ASHA program, for example, right? So even the maternal mortality is high if the mother is not getting their due respect and due assistance. So you can see what is the problem there, where the Asha is not coming. If the Asha is belonging to some other caste and she is not responding to the women from the lower caste, is any kind of this aspect has been there or not? So if it is so you have to look into the welfare policies and programs, how to make it more democratic in nature and all. This is just an example I have given you. There are more you can do to modify the number of the policies and programs available in the community for more practical application and more positive outcome for those programs and policy. Encouraging social cohesion. So this is another very important objective, because this is what it's a means. If you develop the cohesion within a community, you have developed the leadership within a community. So this is, then you can be easily handle the issues and concerns, and you will be easily bringing development into the community. So this is what another very important function, or sorry, objectives of the community. Next is about environmental sustainability and resource management, that we have already discussed. So this is to promote sustainable practices and conserve local resources. Encouraging environmental stewardship within community is so important. You have to look into if you are going for any kind of the social programs and policies or projects, or any kind of the economic programs, policies and projects, you have to look into that. Maybe in the rural areas, you can go with some kind of the agricultural interventional aspect. So you have to look into that, whether that sees that crop is negatively impact the water use and negatively impacted to the quality of the soil. So you have to look into that from the environmental perspective. Always keep in mind the sustainability, because we are actually running into the present day world where there are a lot of the environmental crisis is there in the coming year, and it is actually moving with a very faster pace. So finger crossed, and you have to all the as in change agents can actually induce and can bring a lot of the changes into the community, changes into the larger perspective of our life. Okay, so we can go with the more sustainable projects. We can actually educate the community about those sustainability and particularly environmentally checked projects has to be there. Environmental awareness has to be there. Support for local economy, so encouraging local business and economic initiatives is prime important for that reasons. So next is about the values. So values of community work, if you look into, so what are the value system, right? So values actually gives you the kind of directions on which you can develop your principles. So values are somehow is very internal aspect. So these are the values. Before going to the community, you have to internalize into your personality as a professional, as a case worker, as a volunteer. So then you will be able to work more efficiently into the community, right? So because these actually guided you how to actually go into the community. Few very important value system of general humans value system, like the social justice, inclusion, empowerment, participatory development. So these are the some aspect that we have discussed while we discussed about the objectives and scope. So this is what the value system you have to internalize into you. So those were the things you have to apply and go with the objectives, right? So you have to do this and you should not do that. But values are what your internal belief system that you have to internalize into personality, that has to be reflect into the personality. So the very first value of the community work is that it is a people centered approach. Means you have to respect everyone's there in the community, you have to respect their capacity, capabilities. Should not believe, taking the community members as like they don't know anything, they are the rural people, they are the tribal peoples, they I'm superior than them. So this should not be like that. And whichever the programs, if you are at that position, you have developed any kind of the policies and program, it should be human centered, means people centered, right? It should not be like the only the end is important here, means is important, that like you have to go there and some economic reasons, but if the community is not comfortable, your means, you're not successful in a means. So value system is about human centered. Once you talk about the means, it's you're talking about the human centered aspect, or this is the people centered aspect, right? So it highlights that when policies, administrative procedures, organizational practices are developed and assessed, people's welfare should come first. Okay. Next is about community work investigates whether these structures lessens marginalization and deprivation while enhancing people's capacity to lead meaningful lives. To put it briefly, it prioritizes human welfare over organizational effectiveness or financial concerns. So the priority is on the human welfare, right? So community work is guided by several core values. Among them, this is very important, that's taking the humans at the center. So person-centered approach aims to empower individuals and communities, enhancing their skills, knowledge and confidence to take charge of their own development. If you look into the scope, the nature and then objectives of the community work, you see that we are more concerned about as a community workers to enhance their capabilities, bring their empowerment, to actually furnish our means, to develop our means, and that is what is considered as a person-centered approach. Clear? This is what the very first value system of the community, respecting every individual in the community, respecting every community as well, right? With their all needs and demands and then culture, values, everything. Next is about dynamic and ethical view of society. So that is about the validation. You go in a community with any kind of the assumption, you have to validate that whether that is according to that community or not. So this is what the dynamic and ethical view of society, that you have to keep in mind that every society is different from each other. So respecting this dynamism, respecting that ethical, cultural aspect of that community. Next is about participation and empowerment. This is again important value system. You should not go there and lead the community and show that I know I am the master of this all. Rather, you have to make community develop that way, that the community should come and participate. That way only, once they participated, they get empowerment, and that is what again many times talk about the means. So then you will be comfortable that you are capable enough, that you are actually empowering the community members. So empowerment is central to community work, with the goal of enabling individuals and groups to gain control over their own lives, influences decisions and participate in shaping the development of their community as the idea. So as the Freire has decades back has talked about this whole participation and empowerment, how the participation actually give birth to empowerment. Redistribution of power for equality and inclusiveness is another very important aspect, or so it talks about that, an important value system, that you have to look into the power structure, and then how you have to include the excluded member of the community, and how you can actually mobilize the power, and you can develop the new kind of the leadership within a community. Don't it all needs very tactful intervention. You should not fight with the already existing leadership and you have say that no, I'm not going to accept this leader, so I have to develop a new leader. No, it's not like that. That leader who has already been there is important for you, for the intervention. You can develop the new set of the leadership just to maximize the participation and for the inclusiveness, right? So next is about advocacy. Next value system of the community work is the advocacy for disadvantaged group. So that is what again the same thing is about whoever has not been the part of that any kind of the developmental aspect, you have to make them bring into the into that zone of development, into that loop of the development. So community work values inclusiveness by ensuring that all individuals, regardless of background, status or identity, are involved and represented in community activities and decision making process. Right. So as Kenny has discussed the importance of inclusion in community development, stating that diversity and representation are important aspect. Okay. So this is state develop, diversity at one hand, and then taking into decision making is so important, because by taking the diverse community, diverse member, you have a pool of new kind of the ideas, and you can actually come into the very dynamic aspect of the programs and policies, because the number of different communities come, number of the different members have all the different kind of the ideas, and then once come merged together, participated together, and the disadvantaged community is also being participated there. Even at the very end, community also feel comfortable and feel kind of you could say that so proud that we are successful, we are also successful in getting along with others as well, who are not part of that community. Because once you are living away, there's a lot of uh, because of this there are a lot of misinformation between the two parties, or between the two communities within a communities, because and they have all kind of the preconceived notions, and we have some kind of the conflict in a competition between two sub communities. But once for any point they come together, they interact with each other, maybe initially they have some kind of the issues, but with the time, spending time together many a time, so what the kind of things has happened, definitely it goes down, the kind of conflict and competition goes down, and that is what a fruitful result and fruitful aspect of the community development you can get it. So next is about fostering good social relationship is also very very important. So because this is also, you have to inculcate that you are there to foster good social relationship within communities, as well as with you to the communities. Then is about the capacity building. You have to go with this kind of value system, that you are there to bring and to have build the capacity of the community member. Then you can bring the empowerment for the community, and that is through participation. Human centered bureaucracy, one thing, very first nature was that it has to be human centered or people centered. Is this point at the end is talking about that human centered bureaucracy. See, any kind of the programs and policies which is piled up and with the name of the community and all, having it's no emotion, these are the some files, right? So you have to change the whole welfare aspect. If you can do, if you have the choice, if your organization that way, you have to bring that kind of the changes in mentality, that this files is not file, this is the community is having the whole soul into them, right? So deep personalization of services, where persons are reduced to case numbers, files, might result from the bureaucratic inclination to value process over people. So you can think on the policies and programs from the human's perspective. That's more important, right? So in many a time, many scholars says that whenever you develop any policies, think about the most excluded, most in the backs. So right, that is what the human centered aspect. So this is the last thing regarding this community work of today's lecture, is about that task oriented and process oriented approach of the community work. So task oriented, where the end is the kind of the task you are assigned into the larger objective. So this strategy concentrate on reaching certain objectives on result, such constructing a neighborhood clinic, setting up secure playground, or tackling public health concerns. The task is motivated by realistic goals that is accomplished could signal the conclusion of the endeavors. Whereas press oriented is methodology places emphasis on the process of bringing people together, engaging knowledge, exchanging knowledge, and cultivating positive social interactions. The journey of prioritize over the destination, creating a more cohesive society may be the aim through social recreation or educational activities that promote a sense of community. So this is what the process oriented and task, the difference between the task oriented and process oriented. In the process oriented, human aspect has to be taken into consideration. In the task oriented, the objective oriented aspect is with there. So one is the objective, maybe any social, economic, educational, political, or any kind of any nature. Here process oriented, to achieve this task, the process has to be human centered, where so both the task centered and the process oriented approaches have their strength and weaknesses same way. So a balanced approach that actually integrate elements of both can be beneficial in community work, allowing for the achievement of specific objective by fostering meaningful community engagement and capacity building. By understanding of each approach, community workers can actually tailor their strategies to meet the unique needs of the community at the time of intervention. Okay, so this is all about the today's session. So I just concluded with the statement that community work's goals, principle, and extents are crucial in forming a fair and just society. Community work prioritize empowerment, advocacy, and a comprehensive approach to address urgent issues while also fostering a social connection and long-term relationship among community members. So this is very important that you have to understand the community, you have to validate the assumptions, you have to go with all kinds of the value system within you, you have to be very clear in your objective. You can go with the task oriented and then process oriented and then combination of both, but the things has to be human centered. The human centered approach you have to go with. You have to think about the empowerment, you have to always go for the part, think about and take the idea of the participation of the community. You have certain strategy in your hand how to make the community mobilize their resources, identifying of the mobilization, channelize of the resource mobilization, capacity build. So all are the aspects. Again, it's not necessary that you have to do everything every time. It's all depend on the kind of programs, policy programs, time, and the community. So accordingly you have to work there. Thank you so much for listening carefully. This is all the references you can refer. Thank you so much.